The next day, Hindbad came to visit me and was really curious about my second voyage story. Then I started to tell my story. After I returned home from my first voyage, I had many riches. I was famous in Baghdad, and people admired me. But my heart felt empty. Every night I dreamed of the sea. The waves, the winds, the islands far away, they called me. I could not stay at home. I told myself, Sindbad, the world is too big to stay in one place. I must sail again. I sold some of my belongings and bought a new, strong ship. I gathered a brave crew of men who were ready to follow me anywhere. Some warned me, Sindbad, you have enough wealth now. Why risk your life again? I smiled and said, adventure is more precious than gold. Come with me, and we will see wonders no one has ever seen. We set sail on a bright morning. The sky was blue, and the sun was shining. The sea looked calm, and the wind was gentle. For a few days, our journey was smooth. The crew sang songs, and we shared stories of past adventures. But the sea is not always kind. On the fifth day, dark clouds appeared, covering the sky. The wind blew harder, and huge waves rose like mountains. The ship shook violently. I shouted to my crew, hold on, tie yourselves to the masts. Pray to God if you must, but do not let go. The storm lasted many hours. Waves crashed over the ship, splintering the wood. Some of my crew were swept into the sea. I held on to a broken piece of wood and prayed to survive. Finally, I was washed ashore on a strange, unknown island. The island looked peaceful at first. The air smelled sweet, and the trees were tall and green. But soon I realized it was dangerous. Giant snakes slithered quietly, and wild beasts roamed the forest. I had to be very careful. I did not want to be eaten. While exploring, I saw something incredible. A valley filled with huge diamonds sparkled in the sunlight. I could not believe my eyes, but I knew I could not take them easily. Above the valley, huge birds called rocks flew in the sky. They were so big, they could carry elephants in their claws. One wrong move, and I could be crushed. I thought carefully. I decided to use a clever plan. I cut pieces of meat and tied them to strong ropes. Then I slowly lowered the meat into the valley. The rocks swooped down and grabbed the meat. As they flew away, some diamonds stuck to the ropes. I pulled them up carefully. Again and again, I repeated this. My hands were cut and sore, but I worked patiently. But the island had more dangers. One morning, a ROC bigger than any I had ever seen dived toward me. Its wings were huge, and it flapped so hard that the wind almost knocked me over. I ran as fast as I could and hid behind rocks. My heart was beating fast, but I stayed calm. I remembered cleverness and courage can save your life. On another day, I found a hidden cave. Inside, there was fresh water and strange fruits. But the cave was home to giant bats. They flapped their wings and screeched loudly. I had to move very slowly to avoid being attacked. I used this cave to rest and plan my next day. After many days of danger, clever plans, and careful work, I finally collected enough diamonds to fill our ship. I called the few crew members left, and we worked day and night to load the treasure. At last, under the stars, we set sail, leaving the island behind. I looked back and whispered, I survived your dangers, but I will never forget you. On the journey home, I thought about all I had experienced. The storm had tested our courage. The snakes, beasts, and rocks had tested our brains and bravery. I returned home not just with riches, but with wisdom. I had learned that adventure is dangerous, but with courage and cleverness, you can survive anything. This is the end of my second voyage. I gave Hindbad 1,000 gold coins and told him to come tomorrow to hear my third voyage story.